social beings. We stay in touch with each other through various means like telephonic conversations, personal meetings, or maybe social media connect. The whole purpose of all these conversations is to connect with people, to convey our thoughts and views to others. Obviously, this process has to be very effective. We often find a lot of talk around us, but very little effective communication is there. So friends, in this web series, let us understand how to convert conversations into effective communications. This web series will be useful to all of us in both our personal and professional lives. Today we have Vinit Joshi with us, who has 28 years of corporate experience. He will analyze this whole concept of effective communications for us. Vinit, what is communication?
There is a common perception that every conversation that we have between the two of us is communication. It is always not so. Every conversation is at best an attempt to communicate, but not a communication. So what is communication? So before we get to the question and the answer to that, let's understand the purpose behind any communication. The purpose is that the listener or a group of listeners understand what the speaker has to say in the same meaning and the same context. The communication in simplest term means when the speaker is able to convey his or her intended meaning to his group of listeners, that is called as communication. Otherwise, how can any conversation be called as a communication?
So how does one can accomplish this?
See, for accomplishing successful communication, one needs to be technically correct, which is to say the speaker needs to be crisp, to the point, brief, use simple language, simple words, and be clear in his thought process. All these are absolutely necessary for any communication to become effective. But equally important thing that many a times we forget is that the speaker has to also understand what will make sense to the listener, and if he does that along with other things, then the whole process of communication can become lot effective and lot efficient.
Does it mean that successful communication means there is an agreement?
I wish it was so, but it is not always so. Successful communication merely means that you have understood what I meant to say. But you are an intelligent person. Every listener is an intelligent person with his own thought process. And then he will decide whether he is in agreement with what the speaker is saying or not. And at the end of even a successful communication and an effective communication, there can be a perfect disagreement, and which is absolutely fine.
Can you give us some examples?
Well, we will find a lot of them in every walk of life all around us. Imagine an argument going on between a husband and a wife, where both of them are saying so many things to each other, debating, conversing, arguing, but are they communicating? Most certainly not, because if they were, there wouldn't have been an argument and a heated debate in the first place. Take second example. There is a father, a concerned father, talking to his 10-year-old son and scolding him for not doing well in his mathematics exam in his 5th standard. And the son in turn is trying his best to tell his father that he does not like mathematics, but he likes painting instead. So both of them are telling from their own standpoint what they think is good for them. But are they communicating with each other? No. They did not show any empathy for the other person. For example, in this case, the father did not show any empathy to the son's statement that he does not like mathematics but likes painting. Or whatever his wife was saying, the husband did not show any empathy to that, or vice versa. These are the reasons, or these are the examples where one can say that there is a lot of conversation happening, but absolutely no communication happening.